and went to the gym. Been reading my book. The Sam Pope books have been driving me. I've been a little crazy with them. I love them. I ate my last box of Girl Scout cookies, not Malamars, the tagalongs, and I still have indigestion. But I did the workout. I did a chest and I did a leg workout, superset. Heart rate was through the roof, and came home. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. Okay, Rangers. Now Adam Schefter does breaking stories with Emily. It should be Emily Kaplan. Adam Schefter, you should be staying away. Emily Kaplan, that's her rodeo, not your rodeo, so you should stay away from it. But Artemi Panarin was traded to the Kings for a conditional third-round pick in 2026, a conditional fourth-round pick in 2028 for prospect Liam Greentree, who I looked him up, right wing, first-round pick in 2024, was the 26th pick by the Kings. His birthday was January 1st. He just turned 20. He's played this season with the OHL Windsor Spitfires, 34 games, 23 points, 22 assists, 45 points. The Rangers retained 50% of his salary through the end of the year, and Panarin signed a 2-year extension, average salary of $11 million per season to stay with the Kings who are out of the playoffs. And 34 years old, 52 games this year. He had 19 goals, 38 assists, 57 points, 11 straight 50-point campaign for Panarin. He led the Rangers with assists, points, second in goals to, I guess Mika has the most goals now for the Rangers, and shots at 158. So I asked Messier, Mark, and I asked Ari about this because they're the guys I trust. And a prospect. And Stepboy Steven, I wanted a little more. I wanted what Ari gave me. That's what I was asking about. So Ari, I said, dude, I'm like, what's going on here? Ari said Rangers were held hostage by Panarin. Only one place would go, L.A., to get their top prospect was Nice, who still hasn't played in the NHL yet. He said, wish they had got first since we are retaining salary, but Kings aren't in the playoffs as of now, so they wouldn't want to give it up. He is a power forward with a great shot, needs another player to set him up. Second liner, not a first liner, not a star. That's what I said. So we're not getting a star back. Still remains to be seen. Jury is out, but that's the only team we would go to, so you take their best prospect. You never know. He might stink or he might be a 40-goal scorer. I said, to me, that's just shit. And I wanted to ask Tommy what he thought about this, Rob about this, HCJ. I'm a little stunned right here. I think this is a terrible, they were held hostage, so they got something. They would have got nothing if he would have left. But Drury, I mean, listen, some guy said it was war crimes. I don't know. It's pretty bad, folks. It's pretty stinky. It's pretty stinky. I will give you that. What the fuck? Yeah, I was like, woo! And Rangers don't play till tomorrow. Then they're off until after the Olympic break. So they got rid of Panarin. Panarin's no longer a Ranger. Led them the last 6 years in goals, assists, and points. He's been their main guy. He doesn't play a lot of defense. That's what people complain about. But he's a scoring machine. 34 years old. They got some prospects. A third and fourth. 34 years old. I guess that's the best you're going to do because he really had them over the coals. So at least they got something. We got to look at it that way. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not happy with this. But I gotta be honest. They didn't have it. They were held over the coals, like we said. So, wow, that is interesting to say the least. And I would say, woof is right. That's a lot. That's the end of that. And then HEJ sent me something just now. He sent me. This is from Dan Clark. Why doesn't anyone discuss this? Pre-suspension, 2019 through 21. Tatis Jr. Was 965 OPS, a 160 OPS plus, elite post, 803 OPS, 121 OPS, above average. Nobody discussed it. Well, he was juicing. He's still a solid player. I don't know if I agree with this, that he's closer to Cody Bellinger than Aaron Judge, but he did come in and he was storming it. Barnes wanted them to trade for him. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, just crazy, right? I mean, just bonkers. And then Patty just sent me this. Madison Bumgarner had more grand slams than Prince Fielder, who had more inside the park home runs than Ricky Henderson, who had fewer steals of home run than Babe Ruth, who had as many shutouts as Pedro Martinez. Think about that. Madison Bumgarner had more grand slams than Prince Fielder, who was a big dude, who had more inside the park home runs than Ricky Henderson, who flew, who had fewer steals of home than Babe Ruth, who had as many shutout. Babe Ruth was a hell of a player. Different time, but hell of a player. Okay, so yesterday we finally watched the Netflix doc on the 1980. Let me get this. The Miracle on Ice team. I want to make sure I don't want the sound going off here. Let me find it. The Miracle on Ice. I want to give everybody props where props are due. Miracle. There it is. It was Miracle, the Boys of 1980. Director Max Gershberg and Jacob Rogel. Now, I said, what was the point of doing this? They've done it. They had the movie Miracle. They had the doc. There were some things I hadn't seen before. And I'll tell you, at a time now when the U.S. is a little messy and we kind of need to feel proud to be an American, which I am very proud to be an American, it was pretty damn good. And I got a little choked up, and I remembered it like it was yesterday. I remember it was a tape delay. I found it after the fact, and I remember being in front of my TV at 80. I was 10 years old. Right. I was 10 years old and glued to the television, watching all the games and going back and remembering them all getting up on the podium at the end. The whole team, all 20 guys. Yeah. So this is the thing we were talking about, Michigan and I. They had to beat Finland in order to medal. And I had read that if they didn't win, they weren't going to medal. And that was true. If they tied, they would have medaled. If they lost, they would have been out of a medal against Finland. They're down 2-1 going in the third. And I thought it was before the game where he came in and Herb Brooks said to the team, he says, if you lose this game, you remember for the rest of your fucking lives. The guy said he never swore. Then he kind of went out, came back in, your fucking lives. And I think they were down. And Patrick was an assistant with Herb Brooks and had played for Herb Brooks in 1967, right? I think that's what I read for Herb Brooks. And he went in, and all the guys were like, we're not fucking losing to Finland. They're down 2-1 at the end of 2. We're not going to lose to fucking Finland. And they're all getting up and saying, we're not going to. And he went in, and he was going to say something. He saw all the guys talking. He's like, I'm out of here. And they ended up scoring 3 goals winning, and they won the gold. But if they had tied, they would have medaled. That's what they said. Sporting News said they wouldn't have medaled if they hadn't won the game, because they had a round robin. It was a round robin format for the which is crazy. And rather than a direct goal medal game, the Final Four, USA, Russia, Finland, and Sweden, they carried results over from the first round, and Russia won one game, I think 16-0 over Japan. So they had a big goal differential against them. So that was on February 24th. They had to win. Crazy, right? So and down 2-1, and they played their best third period. They end up winning. Mark Johnson, I remembered him. I remember him against I forgot. But with the 4 seconds left at the end of the first period, they're down 2-1, and a couple of Russia guys kind of gave up because the period was over. He got an extra step, got the shot off, and tied it 2-2, which was big. But Sweden, in the first game, they pulled the goalie. They pulled Craig with 47 seconds left, got the game-tying goal, and that really propelled them because they went out and beat Czechoslovakia, who was supposed to be a team that was going to go on and do great things, which, they didn't. They didn't even medal. So what's up there, HCJ? And I told HCJ you should watch it with Tommy because it's just great. I mean, it's something that, I only, I'm older, so I saw it, but to me, it still resonates, especially there was a recession. Everybody was down. We had the hostages, and America needed something to feel proud about. And they were the youngest team in the Olympics, youngest national team ever. The average age of the team was 21 years old. These were amateurs. And Russia, basically, these guys were paid to play hockey. They had jobs, but their job was to play hockey. And I didn't know, but Canada boycotted 72 and 76 because they felt that these were professional athletes who were getting paid just to play hockey, but they were amateurs because they weren't playing in an actual league, but they were doing that. Yeah. Panarin put in more effort to force his trade to the Kings than he put in with the. Yeah. Wow. I mean, Rob, that trade was out of control. But and my cousin Ari said it right. He had him over the ball. He had him by the balls. He only would go to the Kings. They got something. At least they got something, Rob. He could have left and they got nothing. So they got some conditional, and they got a guy that could be good or could be a bust. He's not a star. He's a second. This kid Greentree, right? Liam Greentree. So we'll see how that works out with him. Yeah. Yeah, Liam Greentree. He's 20 years old. We'll see what happens, Rob. So yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's over. I'm not glad he's gone because he was a scorer. He led them in scoring every year. I know you didn't like his defense, but you still need a guy that can put points on the board, and he can put points on the board. I would have liked them to build around. You could have built around him. He could add him a couple more years, but now we got nothing. So it's going to suck. Also, Herb Brooks was the final cut in 1960, and his dad said after they won the gold medal in Squaw Valley, he said, "Well, I guess they picked the right guy." Imagine your father saying that to you, and it really bothered him. You could tell with this team, he made them all. He wanted them all as a team, and he wanted them all to be a team. And that's what he was looking for. He was getting a team, and he had a team. That was a team. How does Jury still have a job? And they took 50% of his salary. Rob, I don't know. That's why I think Dolan is one of those owners like Hal Steinbrenner that sits on his hands and doesn't do anything. He's happy. He's making money. Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. So Herb Brooks, which is crazy. And after they won, Herb Brooks didn't even go to the ice. He went to the locker room. He wanted the team to celebrate. It was their win. I mean, he pushed them hard, man. Dude, Eruzione, he thought at one point he wasn't even going to make the team. I mean, these were guys who had very minimal minor. A couple guys, 4 guys played out of the 20, played minor league, a little bit of minor league hockey, but really it was all amateur college kids. He had 9 kids from Minnesota. He'd won 4 national championships, including 1979 at Minnesota. Herb Brooks had 4 kids from Boston University, Jim Craig. Now, Steve Janaszek had won a national championship and been MVP of the final of the Frozen Four at Minnesota. And he thought, oh well, I'm the team. I'm gonna be the goalie. He didn't play 1 minute in the Olympics. He was the only player in the Olympics of any player he didn't play a minute in the Olympics. But he practiced. He did all he could and everything. And he met his wife. His wife was an interpreter at Lake Placid. He met his wife and said, greatest thing that ever happened. Met my wife. Yeah. Yes. They showed that you have. That's why. Listen, I grew up a Yankee fan. And I will tell you, I know we had great teams, but those teams in 96, 98, 99, 2000, you had a team. That was a team. And like, you said about the Giants, even in 86, they had stars, but that was a team. You could tell from top to bottom. Team. That was a team that won. And this Olympic team, they busted out, and he conditioned the hell out of them. He made them run. He made them do what he called Herbies. They had tied was it Norway? Was it a 3-3 game? And he made him do Herbies, basically suicides, for over an hour because they were looking at girls. The next night they beat him 9-0. But that's what he made him. He made him do it forever. And I think one guy hit his stick against the boards, and he said he'd do it again. And he goes, I'll make you go until you drop dead. He was a tough son. Herb Brooks was a tough son of a bitch. So they came in, yeah. But this team, those were professionals. These were amateur kids that came together, and he built a fucking team, dude. A team of amateurs. And Russia was professionals. That was a professional hockey team. They had won 4 straight. Check this out. Okay. This was in the doc, but I found this. What else do I have here? Cut. Russia had won 5 of the 6 past winter games. The only one that lost was in 1960, where they finished the bronze. Since 64. Oh, and U.S. was picked to finish between 7 and 12. They were the youngest national team. They had a 2-2 draw to Sweden. I talked about that. Okay, average age was 21. Let me see what else I had. Marco Ruzzini got the game winner against Russia. He said the last 10 minutes felt like 10 years. He said the clock never moved, and Brooks kept saying, play your game. That's all I kept saying. Play your game. Play your game. Russia won the silver over Sweden. That USA had tied 2-2, 9-2. That's a good 9 goals in a bronze game. That's a team that they were that good. Al Michaels, 1990 Sport Illustrated said, Miracle on Ice, the top sports moment of the 20th century. 2008, the International Ice Hockey Federation, Miracle on Ice, said it was the top international ice hockey story of the past 100 years. 100 years. They were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal on December 12th from Trumpy. I mean, it's Vladislav Tretiak, yeah, was pulled after 2-2 tie after the first period. He became a Hall of Famer. Greatest goalie, they said, ever in international hockey. He got pulled after the first period. They'd won 4 consecutive golds, Russia, coming in. 4 Olympics. There's the 4 Olympics after the 1960 bronze. They came into the 1980 games 27-1-1, outscoring their opponents 175 to 44. 175 to 44 in 29 games. Do the math. That's almost 6 a game. It's over 5 a game. And against the U.S. during that time, outscored them 28-7, by 3 touchdowns. So they were dominant team. They hadn't lost a game in Olympic play since 1968, coming to 1980. They were led by Boris Mikhailov, Captain Tretiak, who was the Hall of Famer, Valery Karlamov, also Hall of Famer, Vyacheslav Fedosov, Hall of Famer, and Sergei Makarov, Hall of Famer. Now, I was checking to see what the USA, only one player, Buzz Schneider, came from the USA Hockey 1976 Olympics. Let me see what they did. They finished 5th, 2-3. They were coached by Bob Johnson and Buzz Schneider. So Buzz Schneider was the only guy who played on the 76 and the 80 teams, which I didn't know. Also, national recognition, the Summit Series of 72, when the Russians played against the best players, the best in Canada and everything, that's when they got recognition as, they were legit. I remember that. I remember watching them. Yeah, I remember as I got older, I think they redid it, but 72 was the first time, and they played the best in the NHL. And wait, was the Summit Series against NHL? I thought it was Summit Series. Let me. I just want to make sure. Summit Series. There we go. Summit Series was an 8-game ice hockey between Canada's top professionals and the Soviet Union, played during the Cold War. Canada won the final game in Moscow with a dramatic last-minute goal by Paul Henderson, securing a series victory and cementing the event as a cultural touchstone. Yeah, it was great hockey. Best of best against each other. They came back from a 3-1-1 deficit to win the series. All right. Yeah, so that I remember, the Summit 8-game series in 72. First competition between them. And they did a doc on it, I remember watching. And also, Canada withdrew in 72-76 because amateur-only policy wasn't changed until late 80s. So I thought a lot of the guys from the team did not make it to the next level. I was wrong. 20 players on the team. As I said, 9 from Brooks, Minnesota team. 4 from, including Rob McClanahan, Mike Ramsey, and Phil Verkada. 4 from BU, David Silk, Jack O'Callahan, Jim Craig, and Captain Michael Ruzioni. 68 players to try out. Joe Mullen, he wanted on the team, but his father was sick, so he went to the NHL with the Blues, won 3 cups, and the rest is history. So he wanted him on the team, but he ended up, father was ill, he had to help the family out. Assistant head coach Craig Patrick had played with Brooks, for Brooks on the 1967 U.S. national team. So February 9th, I remember that. They played at MSG, they get blown out 10-3. Olympic start play on February 12th. You're thinking, no way, this is 10-3. So the first game is February 12th. The Miracle on Ice is so 8 days later they beat them 4-3, which is crazy, right? Crazy. They played 61 exhibition games prior to the Olympics. So they played against the National Hockey League, which they beat national hockey teams, which they had a winning record against them. Conditioning was huge. Brooks believed in a European style of play, wide open play with sufficient body contact. And he said he tried to follow what the Russians did because they did all this crazy training and everything. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, they went 3-3 against September 17th against Norway 3-3. And that's when they did the Herbies for over an hour. Then they won 9-0 the next game. He started Sportsman of the Year Award, Athlete of the Year Award by the AP and ABC Wide World of Sports. I mean, they're still ESPN 2004 was their 25th anniversary. ESPN, Miracle on Ice was a top sports headline moment. It was the game of the first 25 years of ESPN, and it was the greatest sports moment in the 20th century by sports. It was. It really. I mean, 13 played in the NHL, 5 played over 500 games, 3 over 1,000. Neil Brodin from Minnesota. He won a chip with Minnesota in 79 under Brooks. Ended up going back for one more year, played 1,099 games, 17 years in the league. He played 992 games with the Minnesota North Stars and the Dallas Stars. He won a Stanley Cup with the Devils in 95 against Fetisov, and he had the game winner. So he is the first person to win a college, Olympic gold, and a Stanley Cup. Neil Broden. And he had his number 7 retired by the Stars. Crazy, right? Ken Morrow, he went from there to the Islanders. He played 10 years, 4 cups. And his dad was really sick. And he said his dad, just these guys. I don't want to give a lot away because, you might you got to watch it, but, they're watching themselves. And it was, the camaraderie, and a couple guys died from the team. Mike Ramsey, 1,070 games in 18 years, 14 with the Sabres, 911 games with the Sabres, 14-year career, 911 games with the Sabres, 5-year. He was a captain. He lost to the Devils in 95 against Broden with the Red Wings. Dave Christian, 14 years, a lot of time with the Winnipeg Jets. 1990, he was with the Boston Bruins. They lost in 5 games to the Oilers. He was a captain with the Jets. All-Star in 1991, had a 783 total points. Mark Johnson, who I had told Michigan, I said, he was the best player on the team. She goes, and they talked about it. He got hurt in one of the games. He got hit, and you saw Herb Brooks wanted to go on the ice and kick the Russian guy's ass early in the game, but he came back on. And Mark Johnson, 11 years, 508 points, an All-Star. But check this out. He has been the Badgers women's hockey team coach. He's won 8 national championships. He won a silver coaching the 2010 women's team in the Olympics. He's won a natty at Wisconsin 2006, 2007, 2009, 11, 19, 21, 23, 25. He is a phenomenal coach. I remember that about him. Crazy. So you got to watch the doc. It was really good. Schaefer yesterday had a goal. They won 6-5 over the PEF. Was it 5-4? You don't even have the result right here. Bo Horvat had 2 goals, his 22nd and 23rd game winner in overtime. Schaefer is 1 goal behind Phil Housley for the most goals by an 18-year-old. And Phil Housley had a hell of a career, if I remember correctly. Remember him on the Sabres. Phil Housley. Let me look this up. Phil Housley is a former defenseman. He was the first player to go straight from American high school to the NHL. He played 1,495 games. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was one-time All-Star, 338 goals, 894 assists, 1,232 points. He was drafted by Buffalo first round in 1982. He played his first. He ended up playing for Buffalo 8 years, Calgary for 5, Winnipeg for 3, Washington for 2, Chicago for 2, St. Louis for 1, Devils and Toronto. Did he ever win a cup? I don't think he won a cup. No. Never won a cup. He was a good player. He wasn't, yeah. Did Phil Housley ever play in the Phil Housley Stanley Cup? Stanley Cup? Yes. Never won a Stanley Cup. His closest attempt was in 1998 when his Washington Capitals reached the final but were swept by the Detroit Red Wings. At the time of his retirement, he held the record for the most NHL regular season games played without winning a Stanley Cup. So that's good company to be in. Josh Hart turned his ankle, but they won by 31. Cat leads the NBA in double-doubles. Yesterday was the first game since Christmas they beat the Nets for the Lakers that LeBron, Luka, and Reeves. Reeves had one ball where he threw it off the backboard so LeBron can dunk it in. If I was a coach, I'd fucking kill him. I would. I'd kill him. I'd be like, what are you doing, dude? That's crazy. Don't do that shit. Rutgers was beating UCLA, and then they lost by 32, 98-66. They're 9-14. UCLA 16-7. The game was at Pauley Pavilion. Rutgers is not a Big Ten team. They're not. St. John's won their 8th in a row, and Barnes has to be excited. Friday night at the Garden, UConn, St. John's. And I'm like, we should go. They're 17-5, 10-1 in the Big Ten. DePaul fell to 12-11, 4-8, 68-56 was a tighter game. 8 in a row. They get UConn. Listen, playing good basketball. I wouldn't call that the Big Ten, but you know what? Playing good basketball. Devils were shut out yesterday 6 times, 1-4 the last 5. They lost to Columbus 3-0. Columbus is 28-20-7. The Devils are 28-26-2. They're playing good, and they're playing like shit. And Rob, I talked about Nagy yesterday. He was not even the play caller with the Chiefs. It was your boy. It was Reed. So now is he going to be the play caller? And yeah. Tommy says I don't know much about Green Tree. The Rangers had no leverage. Exactly, Tommy. They did. So they got something. Right. Got something. Yeah. Something. Yeah. Yeah, he's 20. Nice shot, they said. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. I agree with Tommy. They had him raked over the coals. The Jets, Frank Reich, 64 years young. Last year at Stanford, they went 4-8. That was their most wins since 2020. He was the interim head coach. They didn't bring him back. They brought in Pritchard. They brought in one of their former players to take over. Yeah, who was the Stanford football coach? Am I right there? I thought it was Pritchard. Stanford football coach. Tavita Pritchard. Yeah. A former Stanford quarterback and offensive coordinator. 2009 graduate. 2007 victory over USC as a player and serves as an assistant coach coordinator for the Cardinal team from 2010 to 2022. 37th coach. All right. So it's I don't mind. Frank Reich can coach. Listen, he was head coach Panthers. 2023 got fired middle of the season. He was fired with the Colts. 2018 to 2022 went 40, 33 and 1, went 1 and 2 in the playoffs. Didn't do as well as I thought. He had some very good seasons. They didn't carry over the playoffs. He did win a Super Bowl. He was offensive coordinator with the Eagles, 16 and 17. 17 they beat with who was the backup quarterback? Oh, I see his face. Nick Foles. And he also won a ring. He was an assist. I don't know an analyst or something with the Colts in 2006. 1996, he was a teammate with Aaron Glenn. That was his best season. He had 2,205 yards, 15 touchdowns. 6 Super Bowls. Well, he went to 4 with the Bills, 1 none. He won 2 as a coach, as I said, with the Colts and with the Eagles. He was backup for a year of Boomer Esiason in Maryland. They were losing I remember that game, that they were losing to Miami 31-0, and they came back to win. And I think, if I read right, that Jimmy Johnson made him practice after keep your shit on, and we practiced. And he also led that huge comeback against the Oilers. What's up there, Barnes? So I'm okay with Frank Reich. I really am. I think Frank Reich is going to be all right. I think he's, he'll get things done. I guess we'll see what happens. So I'm okay with it. Now, Aaron Glenn's still going to call a defense, and we're shit out of luck there. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Pro Bowl games yesterday. Did you watch that? Yeah. I know I'm late to this, but this is Barnes. You couldn't get anything more for Panarin. There's nothing else you can get for him. He had him over the coals. He only would go to one team. You're lucky you even got anything for him. So you got a guy in Green Tree who is 20 years old, nice shot, never played in the NHL, and he got a 3rd and 4th conditional round pick. That's all. Ari said we should have got a first, but he had him over the coals. Yeah, don't disagree. But they didn't do it. They had us, so they had you by the balls, and they were holding him. Yeah. Well, but he wasn't going anywhere, dude. That was it. The only team he would go to, I guess he wants to be out in L.A. I don't know why he wants to be in L.A., but he wants to be in L.A., so we're going to see what happens there. Yeah. I hear you. But he had total control of the situation. How about this? Joey Aguilar is suing the NCAA, wants to get an 8th year. So he's got a temporary restraining order. Yes, and he got an extension, 2 years, 2 years, $11 million a year. So he signed. That's another reason why he did it. But the Rangers are paying 50% of his salary this year. So Joey Aguilar, he'll be 25 in June. He made $2 million with the Vols last year. A local judge also went to Tennessee. That's who gave the temporary restraining order. Last year led SEC in passing yards per game. So he started college in 2019, redshirt freshman redshirt freshman at City College in San Francisco. That's where he started. Then he was 3 years at Diablo Valley College. First year was canceled because of COVID. So now he's been in college 4 years, and he's played 2 years of football. Then he goes to Appalachian State for 2 years. So now we're up to 6 years, 4 years of playing football. Spent a few months at UCLA, but then Nico Iamaleava decides to go to UCLA. So Aguilar goes to Tennessee. So he has now played 5 years of football, in a total of 7 years. He had 3,565 yards passing last year, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, another 101 on the ground with 4 touchdowns. So now the redshirt freshman, George McIntyre, was like, hey, I'm going to get a shot this year. No, Joey Aguilar, if this happens, will be, 25 years old. For a quarterback, that's a man. That's a man. And he could be getting dude, you had a year last year, but he knows he's not, I'm making more money. I'll make more money in 2 years than I'll make in my whole, maybe invest it, whatever. Maybe he's getting even 3 or 4 million. Tennessee thinks he's the best shot for them winning games. Well, this is the thing. Okay, Barnes. So he could be. He hasn't played. He's 45 points in the OHL the last year. He's 20 years old. And Ari says he's not even a first liner. He's a second liner who needs someone to work with, to play with. He could be a 40-goal scorer or he could be shit. So I feel like you got nothing, but you got draft picks and hopefully the third and fourth. But if not, you got rid of a player that didn't want to be here anymore. And Drury still has a job. So, yeah, Aguilar, I saw the 8 years. How about this? Jared McCain, who last year tore up his knee in 24 games last year, over 15, almost 3 rebounds, 3 assists, set rookie record last year with at least three three-pointers made in a game in 8 straight games. He had 20 more points in 7 straight games. They were talking rookie of the year, and then they bring in Edgecombe this year, and McCain has been pushed to the bench, only averaged 7, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He was drafted last year, 16th pick in 24 out of Duke. I loved him. I watched him play. Now he's going to OKC, where SGA is signed with an ab strain. They're 40-11. He's under contract through next season, 26-27. Yeah. Dude. Well, at least, yes, because at least the Cashman's winning games. Yeah, I mean, that's not even up for discussion. But Jared McCain is going to be a baller, dude. And I saw that. What else did I see today? Oh, and the Doberman Pinscher won the Westminster Dog Show. So I know if you're excited about that. I know I am. Penny the Doberman Pinscher to win the 150th Best in Show at Westminster. So congrats to Penny for that one. Yeah, 4-year-old Doberman Pinscher, 42nd female to win, 5th time a Doberman. I think it's the first time they said since 1989. So congratulations to you, Penny, for winning. Cavaliers are trading Lonzo Ball to the Jazz, who might be a buyout. I don't know. And they said, someone said, could Lakers buy? I don't want him. And the Clippers, Nets, and Raptors agreed to a team trade, sending Chris Paul to the Raptors and Ochai Agbaji, a 2032 Raptors second rounder, and catch the Nets. So Ochai Agbaji, yeah. Well, this is the thing. You got a big game Friday. Are you going Friday night at the Garden against UConn? That's what I wanted to ask you. Are you going Friday night? Big game. Yes. And HJ sent me this one too there, Barnes. That pre-suspension, your boy Tatis, 965 OPS, 160 OPS plus. Elite since then, 23 through 25, 803 OPS, 121 OPS. Some guy compared him to Bellinger. And I don't know, I still would take him. And then Michigan sent me this. After 50 years at Michigan Medicine, Dr. Eric Bates has treated thousands of patients, trained more than 250 cardiologists, and been cited in over 60,000 medical research papers. But this week, Evan Bates, who graduated from UM in 2013, will compete in the Winter Olympics, making history as the first U.S. figure skater in any discipline to skate in 5 Winter Olympics. An Olympic gold medalist, Evan has won 3 consecutive world championships with Madison Chock, his wife and longtime ice dancing partner, who is participating in her 4th Olympics. They'll skate on February 6th and 7th in the team event and February 9th and 11th in the individual. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah, the pair is featured in a 3-part Netflix documentary, Glitter and Gold, which highlights the world of ice dance and the athlete's preparation ahead of the games. So, Evan, you like the flair he plays with. Yeah, he's a cocky bastard. Yeah, I agree. Oh, you're not going. Yeah, it would be worth the risk. Well, this is the thing. Still stuff could happen, Barnes, because the team you have right now isn't enough to win a championship. No offense. I love you, dude, but it's not happening. So either the Patriots will make Super Bowl history on Sunday, they'll have the most Super Bowl wins, tied for the most with 6 with the Steelers, or 5 Super Bowl losses tied with the Broncos. So that's going to happen. They'll either be tied for the most wins or the most losses. So I'm rooting for The Seahawks, even though I don't really give a shit. Yeah, don't really care. Yeah, okay. And Barnes, you got to watch the Miracle on Ice documentary on Netflix. Really good. Really good. Really liked it. Had a good time. Enjoyed it. Talked about it earlier. Former Colorado State head coach Jay Norville is joining the staff at Iowa as an offensive analyst. Spent 9 seasons as head coach at Colorado State and Nevada, 5 bowl seasons. He's an Iowa graduate who served as an honorary captain in November. As a player at Iowa, Norville led the Hawkeyes to 35 wins over 4 years and 4 bowl games. He spent 6 seasons coaching in the NFL and coached as an assistant in places like Nebraska, UCLA, Oklahoma, and Texas. Thank you, Pete Thamel. Well, Barnes, what's going on here? We will most likely make moves. So Barnes thinks that they have the second best roster behind the Dodgers. Yes. Yeah. You may do that tonight. Yeah. Watch. I think you'd like it. I think Donovan going to Seattle, that helps them a lot. I'm curious about how that's going to work out. And I think there are a lot of teams out there that, who the hell is Brian Angel Chio? Who is Brian Angel Chio? Brian, I never heard of this guy in my life. Like usually, which is nice. It's not like a name. Okay. Brian Angelachio is now the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. I wanted to ask Patty about that. And of course, I'm looking him up and it's not showing right now because, there we go. Is it going to pop through? This is ridiculous. I mean, this is, you can't, I'm going to type in the Steelers, see if that pops up because I want to know what the hell's going on here. I don't know what's happening with okay. Yeah, Brian, I don't know anything about this dude. Angelichio. Let me see what the deal is here. Oh, former Vikings passing game coordinator and tight ends coach has been hired. He reunites him with new Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy, who worked with him in Green Bay from 2016 and 18. Okay. Where Angelichio served as tight ends coach. Okay, so, all right. He's 53, spent most of his NFL career as a tight ends coach with the Bucks, Browns, Commanders, and Panthers. He has experience in Pittsburgh as he worked for the Pittsburgh Panthers as offensive assistant and tight end coach during 2006 to 2010. He did work with T.J. Hawkinson. McCarthy could be calling the plays anyway. Yeah, I think he's going to call. Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to call his own plays, but we'll see. Anthony Davis, what? Wow. Luka Doncic, wow. Wow. Wizards continue building back. So Dallas gets Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, who was been a bust. 2026 first-round pick from OKC, a 2030 first-round pick from Golden State, top 20 protected. 2026 second-round pick from Phoenix, 2027 second-round pick from Chicago, and 2029 second-round pick from Houston. They get D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, Anthony Davis, and Jaden Hardy. Yeah. Yeah. This is a grade strictly for the Mavericks. It's unlikely any team would have valued as much as down. Wow, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would have kept on him with Kyrie. I agree. And Cooper Flag? Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I think Anthony Davis is just going to disappear. Yeah. So now they got Trae Young and Anthony Davis. I really don't know what to say about this. Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, AD. Yeah, AD's not the same player. I mean, if he's healthy, he's the same player, but we'll see what happened. Yeah. Bulls trade White Conley to Hornets. So, oh, wow. So he's back in his home state. Yeah, okay. So White, he's going back to, sending Kobe White and Mike Conley. Mike Conley's an older player in exchange for Colin Sexton and Ousmane Dieng and 3 second-round picks. White was drafted by Chicago in 2019. His 7 seasons made him the longest tenured player. Not anymore, but he was set to become a free agent this summer and now joins the Red Hot Hornets. 7 consecutive games, 8 of the past 9, and they're looking to make a play-in tournament. All right. He's averaging 18 points, 5 assists, 44% shooting in 29 games. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess so. That's interesting. That's interesting to me. Yeah. All right. What else do I have here? Yeah. So some trades. Yeah. Lonzo Ball probably won't be staying in Utah. There's going to be a buyout there. Lonzo Ball, the knee stuff. He's okay, but he's not the same player he was. Yeah, he's not the same player he was. Yeah. Okay. So Steelers got a new guys, coach tight ends, a new offensive coordinator. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, best of luck. This was a cool thing. Chicago Bears, John Gibbons, who's in a wheelchair, interviewing at the Super Bowl. I thought that was cool. Michigan sent me that one. Giants are hiring NFL executive Dawn Aponte as senior VP in football operations per Jordan Renan and Adam Schefter. Aponte has been with the league since 2017 as a chief administrator of football operations. She was also previously worked with the Dolphins, Browns, and Jets. All right. Yeah, cool. All right. We got somebody. She's been in the league. I still don't. And Western Conference play rookies of the month. Teammates Con Newpel and Cooper Flagg averaged 21 points a game, 7 rebounds, almost 5 assists. Newpel 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I got to be honest with you. I thought Newpel was good, but not that good. Wow. They are both 3 for 3 on West and East Rookie of the Month awards, one for October, November, December, and January. They've been, yeah, Newpel has been playing phenomenal. Came out right. How about that? Yeah. And Cooper Flagg, 119 points, is the most points scored by a teenager in a 3 game stretch in NBA history, beat the record by 14 points, which is crazy. Last 3 games, he's averaging 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, 57 from the field, 46 from three, 85 from free throw in 38 minutes a game. First teenager in NBA history with 3 straight 30-point games per real app. That's what they said from Hoop Central. Thank you for that. I mean, playing out of his mind. He is, yeah, crazy, right? How about this? This is my first trivia question of the day. Breakdown of the 325 TDs scored in Super Bowl history. 182 passing, 107 rushing, 16 pick sixes, 10 kick returns, 7 fumble returns, 3 blocked punts. What has never happened in a Super Bowl? What? I've named a bunch. Which one has never happened in a Super Bowl? I did not know this. It has never happened. So I've said passing, rushing, pick six, kick returns, fumble returns, block punts. What has never happened? And Marcus Jones said he just learned that there have been 0 of these in the Super Bowl. Being able to be the first one in history to do that would mean a lot. What has never happened in a Super Bowl? Josh Dubow, thank you for that one. I thought that was pretty cool. And thank you. How about Mary Allen, who's going to play at where did I say she's going to play? Mary Allen's going to play college ball at. And I talked to the guy who's Mary Allen basketball. She is going to play at. That is not her. She's going to play for. Oh, yeah. Colby. She's going to play Colby. Well, she just set a. I got to give her props. She passing the 1,600 career point mark as her Bangor Christian Patriots won 85-18 over Penquist Patriots. She had 27 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. Good for you. She's going to play. She's going to play college. Yeah, talked about St. John's got the win. Miami of Ohio, 23-0. They beat Buffalo 73-71. Luke Skaljak scored a career high 19 points, and number 23, Miami of Ohio, held a 73-70 win, extending the longest winning streak in Mid-American Conference history to 23 games. Buffalo fell to 14-9. And I talked to my friend Harris. He thinks there's no way that Lindsey Vonn, because you need the. He even said to me, I said, "Well, what do you think about this?" Yeah, yes, yeah. And and that's what he. Adem just said to me, Artemi Panarin to the Kings. What in the world are the Rangers doing? Mika has a no trade clause. Mika, no trade clause. Mika has a no trade clause. Trade clause. So that wasn't happening. Yeah, but I hear you, Adem. And yeah, and Panarin only wanted to go. Panarin Panarin only want to go to Kings. So that ends that. Yeah. Crazy, right? So I asked my friend Harris, we were talking yesterday. Yeah, Kings. I can't type. I got fat fingers. What else do I have? Bing bong. Okay, that's a waste. Yes. Doomed but couldn't afford it, so the caretakers brought up. Wow. Some guy was dying. They gave him a Reddit. I was like, okay, so I talked to Harris. Wasn't I talk to Harris yesterday? Why? Yeah, Harris sent me something. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so I was asking about. He said that will be Von skiing with a totally torn ACL because Tommy had sent me. What's his name? What was who was the Bode Miller lost a ski and was down on one ski going down the 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 slope. So he said, "Yeah, how can she ski with a torn ACL?" I said, "No idea." She said it's stable, no way, it's totally torn. I read no pain. He said, "Maybe not, but the ACL keeps your tibia from coming forward." I said, "It's torn. How do you ski? It's 90 seconds, but the speed, the up and down." He said, "We'll see. She has to do a mandatory practice run before the race. So let's see." Yeah, which is tomorrow. So we'll see if she can even compete. So nobody answered the trivia question. Did I miss anything else today? Let me see what else I saw here. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Hornets bringing home back to North Carolina, Kobe White. We talked about that. New episode on shrinking. Fallout. I got to watch Fallout because a new episode. Patrick Mahomes' father arrested in Texas after authorities said he violated his probation. Can't stay out of trouble, dude. The Jazz are expected to waive Lonzo Ball. Hawks acquiring center Jock Landale from the Jazz for cash considerations. These are all like who cares? It's not really interesting, is it? Yeah, it's like okay, but I'm like, eh. Went to the gym today. That was good. Darius, why do you have to pen farewell letters to the teams? Like, who cares? I don't. How Darnold united the Seahawks. Okay, good for you, dude. Yeah, the former top 5 pick who isn't that good. Oh, and they showed a video I sent to some people today that oh, you got to see this. I can't stand the asshole from fucking I can't stand him. The douchebag from Barstool. Dave Portnoy. Look at this running. Is that watch this? Watch this running. Watch his shit. What the hell is that? What is that? So he ran a race against a guy and he's putting his hands up. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, that's not running. That's a jacket. Look at this douchebag. What a fucking douchebag. I can't stand him. How he has this fucking Barstool that everybody loves. And I find his takes are terrible. Dude, that's what Tom Cruise said. Take a video of yourself running, and then you realize you should never. I can't run. I thought I ran like a graceful. No, I run like. Oh, Jesus. I did a whole show today and I didn't record it. I just realized that. I got so excited that the show's only here. So that's it. Yeah. I didn't get to record it. And yeah, I didn't record the whole fucking thing. Yeah. So that's all I got for today, folks. It's great. If you listen today on YouTube, you listen, and I wish you the best. But this is kind of like a extra show. Not the show, but an extra show. So I love you all. Peace out. I'll talk to you soon.